In 1990, I won the 1990 Christa McAuliffe Award for New York State. And there was one winner from every state. And we were all flown down to Florida for an award ceremony and luncheon. After the luncheon, an astronaut came over to me and said, "I'd like to introduce you to Grace. This is Christa McAuliffe's mother, and it's her first time back since her daughter's spaceship went up." Oh boy. And they said, "We're going to take you on a special tour." So off we went. We drove over to an igloo. It was like a white shaped building, and there was a rocket ship to the far right distance of it. And as we walked through the door of the igloo, he said, "Notice where the men's room and the ladies' room is outside the front doors." He said, the first time they were launching a rocket ship, what happened was the rocket ships always go up, but the fuel comes back down. And if you don't get out of that area in a certain amount of time, you're going to get acid all over you. So they didn't know how long that you would have to wait. So they locked the doors automatically for 18 hours. Well, the people were in there, and a few hours later, after they launched one of the rocket ships, someone had to go to the bathroom. And they went to go outside the doors to go, and guess what? They were locked. So they had to make do. Another funny story he told us was there was called a Squirrel Man. In those days, when the very first rockets were being launched, they had extension cords from the rocket ship to the igloo. So Squirrel Man knew the path of the extension cords, and he would have to look. And if anybody saw a squirrel, maybe loosening up, they go, "Squirrel!" And they'd run out, plug it in, run back, and then be able to launch the rockets. Well, we saw a lot of other interesting things. And then he said, "We have one more thing to do. We have special permission to stand on the launch pad that your daughter's rocket ship blasted off." We were in the car when he said that, and I saw Christa McAuliffe's mother, Grace, her hands kind of, went like this on her lap. So we got there and we walked up a big cement path, and there we stood on the launch pad where her daughter's spaceship had launched and exploded, and everyone was killed. And it was the first time she was back. I looked up and I said to myself, my superintendent had given me the application to try to be the first science teacher in space. And I looked at this application, and after 2 weeks, I said, "I don't have the courage to do this. I don't want to die in space. I have 5 cats. They depend on me. I swear to God," I said that to myself. So I never did it. I wanted to work on this project that I had been working on that I got the award for. Well, then I looked down and I looked at Grace. Her daughter had a dream, and she had the courage to actually do this, fill out that application, go through the process, and she got picked. She followed her dream and had her mother and father and husband and children and community support her courage to do what she really wanted to do in life. I saw Grace's mother looking up. A few tears were going down her eyes. And I said, "Grace, would you like a few minutes up here alone?" All she could do was nod. She couldn't say anything. So the astronaut and I walked down. I said, "We'll wait for you. Take as much time as you want." And we waited down at the end of the cement path. I turned around and I looked up to her. You could see her talking with her hands and her lips and wiping away the tears. And she'd hug herself a little, like she was hugging her daughter. I said, "She's saying goodbye to her daughter." Finally, she turned around and she walked down the cement path slowly. She saw me and she came right towards me. But as she got closer, she was staring into my eyes. It scared me a little. I think I said to myself, she has finally said goodbye to her daughter. And then she reached forward and gave me the biggest, tightest mother hug you could ever imagine. She was ready for a new start in life. She had finally said goodbye to her daughter. When she stopped hugging me, I took her hand, and without a sound, we turned away towards the car. We did not say a word. It was a moment in time. Thank you.